competitive esports done right. Brought to you by
Take a look at that teamwork. That is what it is all about here at the Hardcore League.
They don't even see him, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Holy smokes. Can he do it?
And that right there is how you dogfight, ladies and gentlemen. What a play. Tonight's matchup, girls versus boys, right here at the Hardcore League, sponsored by Gamers Community.
Hardcore League, the only place for large-scale competitive battlefield.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the next round. And as I tend to do, I've got the old scoreboard up. We're going to get that swapped up right now. This is going to be Point Gap versus Phoenix Elite Network. Throw up some information on both teams here in just a second as soon as I get this scoreboard lined the way it needs to be. Using for everybody. And there we have it. All lined out. Ready to rock and roll. Some information about these teams. So, let's take a look at the leader comparisons first between Phoenix Elite Network. Now, you notice these guys are well into the burn round. So, take a look here. Leader comparisons between Phoenix Elite Network. We've got Sheep and Lions, and Lions definitely has Sheep beat in all accounts. Now, these are just the leaders, but you can see their kill death, score per minute, win, loss, and time in game. Lions has put in some work, an impressive 5.8 kill death compared to 1.7. Almost exactly 1,000 points higher on skill per minute. But Sheep is rolling in with a solid 1,600 score per minute. But time in, Lions just has the time. You know, he's got more time in the game than Penn does, than Sheep does. So we'll see how it rolls. We're going to also bring up the top 5 for both teams and see how they stack up. And again, Point Gap, that kill death is very, very impressive. We got some salty teams here as we see them go into round 2 of this tournament. We're going to see some of these high kill deaths meeting up on the battlefield. It should be pretty good. We are going to be playing Broslov Keep for this round. And Brett, they have a tank on there. I think it's locked to the land ship, kind of like that last map that we won't say its name because we can't. But I believe they have one tank, don't they?
Brusilov Keep, I believe it does, yeah, because that is the one that has the train that goes through the middle of it. Also has a couple of cavalrymen, and it's the one that we have the blown up church in the middle of.
Yeah, and it's
so
got that really high.
Wait.
I think you're right.
A really popular thing is to use the artillery truck.
Oh yeah, the artillery truck.
Yeah. So we see artillery trucks used there. I know when I've cast in the past on that map. But yeah, that map right there, I would say is it's a little bit more balanced than what we just saw, but it can still be very weighted towards the team who is able to capture out on that C flag first. It's very hard, from what I've noticed anyways, when you're on the trying to think of what side of the map that is exactly. But it's basically, if you're looking at it from the tabletop, it's the left side of the map. But what it basically allows you to do is have some really good high ground advantage, keep people coming in onto that C flag from like Bravo, for instance, because there's just nothing there. There's no cover at all whatsoever. So it's very difficult for teams to kind of dig their way out of that position.
Yeah, and I believe if you're looking at it from top view, that's going to be the Edward side, and the Alpha side is on the right side. If I remember correctly, if I'm thinking of the right map on Broslov Keep. But nonetheless,
well, that was a mistake.
Right? I noticed that I heard it go off. I was thinking,
oh man, I was talking to some other people in a feedback chat room about some Battlefield stuff, and clicked on the voice channel instead of the text channel. So apologize there.
So there we go. The burn round is over. We are going to jump into the official match between Phoenix Elite Network and Point Gap. Again, we're going to throw up a little information on both these teams for you guys if you're just getting into it so you can see what's going on. If it's your first time here, we'd like to welcome you to the Hardcore League. We are sponsored by Gamers Community. We'll have a mod, throw something in chat for you guys so you can go check out Gamers Community. Doesn't matter what platform you're on, what game you play, they will help you out. I am Deadeye with a Hardcore League, and I've got my good buddy here, Brett FX, color commentating for me on these amazing matches we've had so far, and we're going to see even more as we get deeper into this tournament. As I said, we've currently got Phoenix Elite Network versus Point Gap. We're going to show the top 5 player lineup for you guys right here. And again, we're seeing PG. Point Gap has some impressive kill deaths over on their side with their top players. And it looks like they're pretty balanced out as far as the kits that they run. Over on the pin side, they're rolling a little heavier on the assault side. But nonetheless, it should be a pretty good matchup. And we are going to have one tank on this map for both sides. And we do have the tanker comparisons for you guys as well. Again, Point Gap looking very, very solid with their tankers. So we are going to see how it goes as we jump into the match. These teams will not be moving until the 3-minute mark. And then they're going to roll out. Let's see what sides they are on. So it looks like we are going to see PG in red and Phoenix Elite Network in blue. So our team labels and scoreboard is correct. We are ready to get this on and popping.
Yeah, so what I was talking about before, I was actually flipped around. So if you're coming in from the Delta side of the map, so if you're the Hungarian Empire, the red team, and you come in onto that C flag, it's a little bit easier to hold on to it because you do have that higher ground advantage, that little mountain right there. So, I'd like to see from a team who's coming in from the Russian side, you need to use smokes. At the very least, maybe have a vehicle back you up. But it's going to be very difficult to push in onto that Charlie flag. Very easy as well if you do not focus on defense when you're on the Russian Empire side for that C flag push. So the Hungarian Empire has a pretty direct route to Alpha and a very dominant route to Alpha. Again, they have that high ground advantage. They have a lot more cover once they get over back behind A. So it's very, very critical that whoever is on the Russian team side, which is going to be Phoenix, they need to make sure that they don't let people leak up in to that position of the map because they're going to have a hell of a time dealing with it if they do. And a lot of times what you'll see are teams basically bottled up at Bravo. You see a 3-flag cap happening, and they just can't get out of B. It's also easy for the red team to get into the church tower and over into those buildings. Very difficult to weed them out in those positions, especially because there's just so many layers. It's not just one building that you have to go through. It's multiple sets of buildings that you have to go through and clear out each and every one of them. And while you're doing that, obviously you're having to fight other infantry players coming in after you. So I would say, just from my experience on playing and watching on it, the Russian Empire, the blue side, they're going to have a little bit of a tougher time. But if they keep their head on straight, if they make sure that they're communicating correctly, this is definitely a map that they can win. Another thing that I would like to see is utilizing a basically back capping, using the cavalrymen to go for those back caps, especially if you're the Russian team. Go for that Delta site. Push down towards the train tracks. You got plenty of room if you look at the out of bounds line to kind of get around back behind there, kind of unnoticed. Get onto that D flag, flash it.
Yep, and there they go. It is the 3-minute mark. Point Gap versus Phoenix Elite Network. They're going to be taking off and heading, and we're going to see Point Gap come out strong with their cavalry kit. We're going to see Phoenix Elite Network coming out as well, and we are seeing that artillery truck, and this artillery truck is going to meet up with this cavalry kit down here on the Charlie objective. Alamo as Chaos is going to bail out, and Sheep, the leader of Phoenix Elite Network, is going to come up. Oh, and we're going to see Lions coming out very strong, taking out 2. Chaos. Alamo as Chaos in that artillery truck is going to wipe them out. They started an early burn on the Charlie flag, but PG is going to wipe them out and start moving on it, and they've already got Bravo. We can see a line already starting to form for Point Gap, and unfortunately we're going to see Phoenix Elite Network funneling right in to their forces, almost in a single file line. They're going to need to stagger their guys if they don't want to just get wasted with some collateral there as well.
Absolutely, and already we're seeing a potential leak coming in here over here on the Charlie flag. They're starting to push in with their artillery truck towards the south. We do have a cavalryman coming in, but you know as well as I do, horses don't really stand up too much to cannons. But They need to make sure that they do plug this hole. They will have 3 people pushing in onto the artillery truck, so they should be able to take it out.
And coming
But,
out really
I think-
smart with assaults too.
Yeah, but I think that initial push would have absolutely worked in Phoenix's favor had they have had the artillery truck back them up. Instead of going over to Alpha, if they had the artillery coming in with the horse, that was a good push. They could have been able to take that C site.
And now we see it again. Yeah, let's grab this tabletop view. PG just, pushing a solid line and pushing Pin back. Pin struggling outside of their base here. And what happened to my screen right there? What are we? Yeah, we need to turn it off. There we go. That helps. Pin is going to be, again, struggling out of their base. They're kind of filing out. PG is being absolutely relentless and just pushing up very, very strong onto these players.
Oh, God, yeah, look at this. They are completely overwhelming them right now with their infantry. We do see a couple of players trying to push it. What is wiping them out? We have just 3 guys died almost instantly to the south side of A for Phoenix, and they are just getting completely mopped up here as we are going to be seeing that Alpha site now halfway done in terms of being neutralized. At this point in time right now, you see the players up into the north. That's exactly what they should do. Ignore the players on A. Hey, you've lost the flag. Now we got to do some damage control. Let's get back over here to Delta. Let's get onto B. Let's get somewhere else where maybe we can get a burn going down. The entire team right now for PG is on that Alpha flag. So there is an opportunity right now for a very quick burn to go down somewhere else on the map.
Well, and they're going to recognize it. We're going to start seeing PG's team start to split off and start falling back onto the flags. We also on the north side have Paragon Kirby and that artillery moving that far side as well. He's going to try to get over there, and Pin played it smart. They didn't leave all those contacts onto the Bravo flag. They have another one moving out on that side. But PG is counting on their couple of guys to come back there and take it out. We've got Alucard Rises trying to hold off on this flag. He is taking some shots. He's going to go down by Irrit. And but they are going to manage to make it around to this backburn. And Phoenix Elite Network looking to make some moves on Alpha as well. They are going to be overwhelmed on Alpha, but they're getting that Delta flag, and that is going to force PG to pull their players way, way back. And hopefully open up some lanes for Pin to get in there and make some moves. But right now, I mean, just grabbing that 5 cap right off the bat put them in a 200 ticket lead. And so they've got some cushion to split up their forces and do what they need to.
Oh, absolutely. And this artillery truck needs to be careful here as, well, he will go ahead and back up. They have spotted him out, but they will be able to get that Delta cap. We needed to be seeing, as soon as they push it onto D, we need to be seeing a little bit more push coming in onto maybe Charlie. We do have one player that is going to be coming in. It is going to be crazy as he's going to get onto that Charlie flag. Need to be seeing some spawns coming in as well onto him to try and burn that down. The players over here onto Alpha, though, they don't need to be spawning back at main. Like, I don't know why they keep spawning back over at main. We need to be seeing some squad switching. There is plenty of room in the squads to do so. And they need to go ahead and spawn back in on these critical flags. Delta, for now, is holding, but they are quickly getting mopped up. Only one player left up alive. C will be getting neutralized, but whether it's going to get capped or not, I'm not sure, as we do see a couple of PG players starting to funnel back in onto that site. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really agree with how Phoenix kind of split there. They should have been a little bit faster when they did, and they need to be faster on the spawns.
Well, and they're making some good moves right now. I mean, they are outgunned as far as player versus player on guns, but they're doing a good job of pulling PG back. There's nobody on Alpha now. Pin recognizes that. You can see the communications there, and they're throwing some guys back on the Alpha flag. They've got a whole squad that is about to rat around to Delta yet again. You know, they've grabbed Bravo. They are losing their foothold on Charlie, but they're moving heavy into this Delta flag. If they can take out that artillery truck, they are going to be good to go. The artillery truck has got guys sitting on top of it. That's going to cause a team kill of Elusive Man. He is going to go down. Video Game Freak's going to go back for the pickup. And Video and Elusive are going to move in to try to take them both out. Elusive Man is going to be in trouble. He's going to be hurt. Nuclear Jelly Bean is going to pick one up. If he can take this second one out, he's going to be good to go. And Paragon Kirby is going to move in and take him out. So they are going to secure Delta. They're losing their foothold on Bravo. They have Alpha. So again, Pin trying to hang in there, but that 5 cap in the, or the 4 cap, yeah, 4 cap in the beginning was just devastating to him. It put him so far behind that they were going to have to do double work to get back up ahead.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time right now, I don't really think that you can expect them to win the round. It's just damage control. How many more tickets can they get before it's going to be round over? Oh my God, looking at the kill feed, it's not looking like it's going to be that great, as it's red lighting it up all day long. They have gotten control of Bravo and Charlie here for PG. They look like they are not going to be giving it up anytime soon. I mean, really, even with this 2-2 standoff, this artillery truck back here onto Delta is just doing so much damage in terms of kills. It's insane. So they should be able to get their main 3 flags back once again.
We do have Crazy Indian from Pin. He is moving into Delta. He's going to anchor in here. He's going to grab a spot. He's got some guys got to be looking for him now. They know he's on the flag. He's going to need some spawns on him. But again, in the kill feed, you just see the red lightening it up. And the artillery truck's going to put some shots and get some damage on him with the rubble coming down.
I mean, just taking a look right now at the KDs. We have 0 and 4 there for Crazy, 0 and 7 for Asylum, 1 and 5 there for Shady, 1 and 3 for Rex. So, I mean, they're just not getting kills. They're not winning gunfights whatsoever. They're just getting outplayed.
We have lost objective.
We do have a couple of players. Oh, no, it looks like a cavalryman there to the north, able to squeak by an artillery truck who's kind of just out on his lonesome towards that Bravo site. And we do see the opponents here, PG's artillery truck, starting to get very aggressive up towards Alpha.
Yeah, they've got a lot of players moving into Alpha. They're flooding Alpha.
They're going to bomb it.
PG, or Pin, is trying to hold back here. Putting some shots in, but they are getting systematically picked off as... You know, I have to say I'm really impressed with Point Gap's positioning. The way they spread out, you know, we see a whole squad moving to the left, a whole squad moving right onto the flag. And, you know, it looks like a choreographed dance that these guys are pulling off as they move into these bases, you know. And we saw that in the very beginning. You know, they didn't leave any of the map uncovered as they were moving up to Alpha in the very beginning. Now, they did let some people squeak by and get behind them. But that first initial push that they made up to Alpha was extremely beautiful, just in their positioning.
Absolutely. Yeah, they will be able to capture onto that A side. B is looking like it's going to go back over into their favor. We did have the artillery truck trying to get some spawns back over here towards Delta, but, I mean, really, Phoenix is just, their movement's too slow. They're just not fast enough. And, you know, like I said before, they're getting outplayed on the gun, so even if they were, their timings were great. They're still not going to win out onto the gunfights. Everybody has been cleaned up over onto that Bravo flag. Only 3 infantry players are back here onto Delta, so they're not going to be able to burn that down too awfully quick. But still, over here on Alpha, like, they're entrenched so well. Their artillery truck is picking off these players that are trying to do any kind of run across this no man's land. It's just going to be this 3 flag cap the entire time. 408 now to 96. Let that sink in. That's right. That's a brutal score line to come in from.
That is true. They're almost going to pin them to under 100. You know.
Well, they will be able to get over 100 right now. That Delta flag, really their saving grace, but immediately you see the artillery truck starting to transfer back over here. He's actually going to catch Phoenix artillery out in a bad position, not able to get that first shot on it, but the infantry players should be able to clean that up here very, very soon. But I mean, it's just already on fire. Yeah, right now, Phoenix, I don't even know really what they could do, even if they had another couple hundred tickets in this situation. I mean, I said earlier, damage control was their main thing here, but I mean, at this point, your attitude's got to be pretty sucky going into the second round.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be feeling it going into the second round. I know the Pin players, so they're going, you know, they're going to come out and they're going to play their hardest the second round. And we may see something different. I guarantee you the management of Pin is going to come in and they're going to tell their guys, all right, look, you know, that was definitely rough. You know, it's going to be seriously difficult to come back and win this, but whatever our ticket count is this round, let's get a higher ticket count next round. you know, that's what they're going to be playing for next round. They're going to be playing to come out and have a higher ticket count than they did this round. Regardless if they win or lose, we're still going to see them come out pretty tough. As far as playing the objectives, we're not going to see them sandbagging or just not caring.
Yeah, we do see that Charlie flag now getting capped over. So they have, I mean, one thing we haven't really seen an all 4 cap. If we have, it was very, very little time that it actually was a 4 cap. So you got to give them at least props to that. They have managed to stay relevant somewhat around the map itself, being able to get these flags here and there, but they will eventually fall and go down. Now, as we mentioned before, you know, the Russian side is weaker side. It is the harder side on this map. So if they can have a good breakout, then maybe they can make a little bit more of a game out of this. But you know, what's really sad is that I really think that we could be looking at a different scoreline here. I don't think that PG would have lost that round, but I definitely think we could have been seeing maybe another 100 tickets to like 120 tickets more for Phoenix had they have sent the artillery truck at the very beginning of the round with that cavalry team to Charlie. Because, I mean, they had good numbers. They had the burn going already. They had a decent position on them as well. If they would have had the heavy-hitting artillery truck, they probably could have won that fight. That would have given them much better positioning. They wouldn't have had to worry for that push over onto A, at the very least not at that moment. We're talking about a slightly different outcome there in terms of tickets. But take a look right there at Lions, 20-0. It didn't die once, putting up massive numbers there.
And Lions, as you can see here in the leader comparison, he is one of the leaders for PG. You know, he's got that 5.8 kill death, and he's got 584 hours in the game. You know, he is an experienced player, and it showed here today during this match. And you know, in the beginning, PG just came out so aggressive, so hard, pushed him all the way back, and before Penn even made it out of their spawn, PG was up by 200 tickets. You know, that 4 cap they got in the beginning just was completely devastating to Phoenix Elite Network. So we're going to have to see if they try to curb that. Like I said, I know they're going to be shooting for a higher ticket count. You know, they finished with 118. So we're going to see them trying to get up to 200-300 tickets this go around as we jump into the next round.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, you know, that was a pretty rough round for these guys. Again, we are going to see the other caster, Fluffy. The other caster is going to be Mr. Brett FX. He's been in the battlefield scene for a long time. Very experienced. We are happy to have him casting here for us, color commentating here at the league. Nonetheless, we're about to jump into the next round. I'm going to get these team labels switched up for you guys so you know where everybody's at. And there you go. We're going to see Point Gap in blue, Phoenix Elite Network in red, and we're going to see if Phoenix Elite Network changes it up.
Yeah, I am curious to see where they push these guys. If they're going to go for a heavy C push. They should go for a C push. I mean, that should be their main focus right now. Get control of that Charlie flag. I figure we're going to be seeing the Russian team, the blue team doing the same thing. PG looking in for that C site.
Yep. I imagine we're going to see some really similar tactics. They obviously know what they're doing there. Again, we're pulling up the top 5 player lineup for these two teams, and what that's also reflected here on the battlefield today. You know, PG just come in very, very strong. And got him in a bad position right in the beginning. Just shut him out. Redlined Penn in the beginning. Penn, in true fashion of Phoenix Elite Network, did not give up, and they managed to not get spawn camped. Although on this map it's pretty easy, as it is pretty linear to get spawn camped. They managed to fight their way out. They made it to some of the back caps, and they tried to get something done, but it was too little too late. And Point Gap just took the win by a huge margin. Again, they are rolling these artillery trucks, so we're going to bring up their tankers here. The difference between them, again, both on their top 5 infantry and their tankers, they have them outgunned as far as it is on paper. And then if you take a look at the leader comparisons, you know, it pretty much reflects the same thing. Lions is an animal, I agree. He comes out very, very strong.
Yeah, and you can look at the setup right now for Phoenix. They do have the vehicle and the cavalrymen to the south there, so they are looking to push onto that C objective fairly quickly. I also would like to see them not leave more than 1 or 2 players onto this Delta objective. I feel like it is much more effective to go forward, try and get those middle flags with as many infantry players as possible. Yeah, you may cap your back flag slower than the other team. That's going to result in what? Maybe 2-3 tickets at the most in favor of them. Much better to go forward with all of your infantry players as you possibly can. Get those middle flags. That's what's really going to matter. So, a little concerned that we see as many infantry players spawning in the back here than what they are. But hopefully they don't leave them all onto that Delta flag for the start of this match.
Yeah, I think it would be wise to use those cavalries and bail off and spawn and things like that, which I believe
absolutely
is what we're going to see PG doing. You know, that's why we don't see as many infantry spawning back there, or even that artillery truck, you know, moving up, bouncing out. That's exactly what we saw PG do the last round. Was they come out, they spawned an artillery truck, which I've noticed I don't see the artillery truck up on PG side. They're not rolling their artillery at all. Maybe they're oh, there it is.
Oh, no, it is. It's just spawning in late.
Just come in. So we're gonna see. Let's see how this battle goes down over on this Bravo objective. We've got Nuclear Jellybean pushing in with that cavalry kit. Drunken Clam, Het Aardvarken, and Cheekyology moving in. Now we are going to see a spawn. Crazy Indian's going to come in, and they're going to dispatch Drunken Clam on this Bravo flag. Crazy's going to move down. He's going to have one out in front. He's going to put some shots on. He takes him out, looking for the 3-piece. Brings that pistol out and manages to get the 3-piece. That's going to be huge for them on that Bravo flag, leaving PG with only 2 left. And Phoenix Elite Network coming out a lot stronger. They did manage to grab this Charlie objective, and they are burning Bravo. We're going to see PG starting to allocate their forces across the river. But Phoenix Elite Network currently has the lead on this flag. We're going to see Crazy Indian doing work, grabbing a fat 3-piece under the bridge. Make it a 4-piece. Goodness gracious. Coming in and taking him out. And they're going to secure Bravo. They're going to get a 3-cap off early. And I don't know if PG sandbagging or Phoenix Elite Network just decided to do things a lot differently, which we can see that they have. They've got a pretty solid line. They're kind of breaking that line over on the north side. As Crazy as Phil and Froggy on the back of that 3-piece, and he's going to be moving up toward the Alpha objective. But nonetheless, they are solid. We do see PG moving around, trying to cap the back flag. We're going to jump in with Elusive Man, who is on this objective. We do see a knife right there. Irid is going to take out I Love Jesus. And with a cavalry sword, and they are going to start burning this Delta objective.
Yeah, the artillery truck did go down right now for PG, so that's going to give Phoenix a really good advantage over here onto this Charlie side. And again, I think what really helped out is the fact that they did push their artillery. They pushed their cavalry to that seaside right away. They got control of it. They didn't worry too much about their back flags. They tried to get up there as quickly as possible. And if they had done that in the last round, again, we would have seen a really different match setup. We do have the artillery truck, though, in trouble over here next to Charlie. He is getting back raged at the moment. Will end up going down, which is definitely unfortunate. At the same time, B is getting capped over here, too. But we do see a push coming in onto A, and Delta is also getting flashed. So we see PG just everywhere on the map right now, which is exactly what they should do. When you're in that situation where you are down in number of flags, you should try and push as many as possible, just pulling the players or pulling the other team or keeping them from actually setting up a strong line, which is what we saw in the previous game, and it worked so well for them.
Yeah, and PG is currently thick into this objective. Into the Delta objective. They do have one contact. This is going to be I Love Jesus trying to do something. He is going to manage to take one out. Coming down the stairs, he's going to look for the second. They're camping that attic on the Delta objective, and Phoenix Elite Network is burning it. Phoenix Elite Network still is in the lead by about 20 tickets. They did get wiped off the Alpha flag. They just got creamed off the Butter flag as well. And we're going to see Sam I Am is about to get a back rage on some players. He's going to get a solid 2-piece right there. Looking for a 3-piece. Sheep running around is going to go down at the hands of Casualty, and they're going to get wiped almost completely off that Charlie flag. Private Paul's still in there trying to hold out. He's going to get caught out of position, and Casualty's going to wipe him up as well. And this is where Point Gap is going to start coming back. They do have the 3 cap. You can see all their players moving up. They're starting to spread out. And we're going to see Pin Chenander catching a couple of guys out of position, but they're going to turn on him and end up surviving that flank that he was pulling.
Yeah, absolutely. We should be seeing the artillery truck coming up for both teams. There it is right now for Phoenix, as they are going to be pushing up through the church area. The artillery is going to try and help them out, although it'll be a little bit difficult shooting uphill like that. They have managed to clear out every single one of those players, though, inside the church. Only one left back onto that B site for the defense. But yeah, this is good right now for PG. They have control of the ticket bleed. They are going to be able to rack up as many numbers as they need to in order to win out on this round. That's what really sucks about having weak sides when you're starting out in a system like this, where it's not a best of 3 maps, is that you're really stuck with needing to do the best possible thing that you could do with on that first round. I mean, you need to capture as many tickets as possible, which you always need to do. But it really allows the other team to kind of gauge how hard the next round is going to be. Right now, it does look like PG is going to have a fairly easy time of closing this out. We do see the artillery truck now up for PG. Don't think he's spotted out Phoenix yet. In fact, I don't think Phoenix knows where he wants to go with this artillery, as he's backed all the way up from that A flag. And yeah, we're seeing a potential 4 cap coming in here right now, as PG looking to go ahead and shut this thing down.
Paragon Kirby for Phoenix Elite Network does have a beat on their artillery truck, and he caught it out of position. He is going to end up taking it down. He's almost down himself, so he's going to need to get some reps in before an assault takes him out. But it looks like he's going to go ahead and push with what he's got. And he's just almost trying to run him over at the same time. But I saw a really, really good move by PG right here in the open field. When they were coming from Charlie up to Delta, they got defensive, you know, in mid-map in these buildings, and caught a lot of the pin players coming from Delta back to Charlie, because they just had they had cover, they had the buildings, they had the hills, and Phoenix Elite Network was just moving across that open ground, and they lost 5 to 6 players right there. Super quick based on that.
Yeah, it does look like they are going to be able to capture out on that C flag. Getting control of the 4 cap once again. No leaks, I don't think. Yeah, there are absolutely no leaks whatsoever. So every single one of the players here for Phoenix are going to be spawning back in towards that Delta site. We do see a couple of players to the north trying to get on out, but they have been spotted. The PG guys know that there are players that are going to be coming around there. Drunken Clam's already shifting on up. We're also going to be seeing Lions potentially going over there towards the church. So yeah, they're going to be ready and waiting right there for this. That 4 cap really starting to set the stride, as we're up to 249 to 119. And yeah, this is another brutal ending here, as they're having trouble just getting their home flag back.
Yeah, they it looks like Phoenix Elite Network is going to be struggling. But as I said, you know, they wanted to come out and get more tickets, and they are definitely going to do that. They come out 100 times stronger than they did that first round. I think they learned a little something. But again, PG, their positioning and their gun skills are just overwhelming Phoenix Elite Network at this point. And they're struggling to hang on to their home base, which, you know, I mean, for them, it's better for it to be going on later in the map than in the very beginning, as it did last round. You know, it's still unfortunate. They do have somebody. They did spring a leak. Chenander's going to make it around with this cavalry kit. He's going to hit that alpha objective, so we're going to see PG start pulling back. We should see a squad bomb back here. Again, it doesn't matter. PG is going to be moving to the next round. And they'll potentially be facing off against MDG or Apex, which is our next round coming up, is Apex versus MDG. Right after this round. Nonetheless, there it is, the squad bomb on the alpha. They brought in our one person squad spawns on him. They're going to start burning that flag. We are going to see Drunken Clam falling back to the alpha objective. Let's see if he can win this 1v2 battle here.
Well, he definitely has the tools to do so. He's got a really decent medic gun here, so it's going to be able to lay down a lot of fire. He can keep himself healed up, but nice little shots coming in there from the
Oh,
cavalryman.
and he's going to go down.
Finishing him off, yeah.
So they have one more moving in. Who do they have for PG moving in? Uh-oh, Lions. Lions is 11-2 on the game. Dying 2 more times than he did last round. He's going to be moving in. Also, what is he rolling? He's going to be rolling the Farquad. Putting some shots down in early. He's going to catch him as they're running away. He does manage to grab one. He's taking shots. He's in trouble. 9 health. He's going to have to fall back. He's getting some support from the cavalry kit. Oh, and he is going to go down. Shenander's going to grab yet another one. And Phoenix Elite Network is going to grab up the Alpha flag, and they are securing Bravo. But they've lost their foothold on Delta, Charlie, and they're still down by about 300 tickets. So PG, again, coming in really, really strong. Phoenix Elite Network.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's too little too late. You know, it's playing for pride at the moment. You know, that's like you were saying before, they just want to get a little bit better game than what they had previously. But it kind of makes you wonder sometimes, you know, well, why didn't you make those decisions before in the last round? Or why didn't you do this a little bit earlier than what you're doing now? Sometimes, you know, I think nerves play a part in it too. You know, this is the first game for both of these teams. And when you're in this situation where it is a best of one and you are in a single elimination tournament, you don't have that opportunity to kind of warm up in that match setting. I mean, obviously you can get those scrims going on before, but it's just not the same as when you are in that match. Nerves have a funny way of playing their part there in the competition setting. So, you know, that could have played a part in it as well. But, you know, overall, I think that PG, it's safe to say that they are definitely the better team of the two here, and they definitely have deserved this win. They played phenomenally in terms of their infantry play. They did a fantastic job in terms of their breakouts and their setups, and they knew exactly where to reinforce and where to shift their players when flags were going down. So, yeah, 475, about to end this out in about 25 tickets. So, congrats to them for going on to the next round.
Yep, absolutely. And I think Phoenix Elite Network is going to feel a little better about coming out with a higher ticket count. I imagine they probably wanted it higher than it's going to end up being regardless. But they'll take a positive away from it. I'm sure they'll reevaluate how they're doing things. But we are seeing, you know, a standard setup on both sides like we were talking about in that first round with 405. Oh, getting a host coming in. Not sure who's hosting us, but we definitely appreciate it. Thank you very much. We do not have those notifications turned on, but we definitely appreciate those. Welcome to the Hardcore League. We're just wrapping up this match. Oh, it's going to be our boy Daz. What's going on? Thank you, sir. We're just wrapping up this round between Point Gap and Phoenix Elite Network. But nevertheless, we've got one coming right after this one. So stay tuned. The next round is going to be Apex Predator Esports versus Modern Day Gaming right here on the Hardcore League. With myself, Deadeye, and Brett FX coming in. So yeah, be prepared for that, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming up right now. We're going to be throwing up stats. For those of you just jumping in, here are the top 5 players for both of these teams. We're going to jump into the scoreboard before we bounce out and jump back in here for the next round. We do have a tournament going on. We are in round 1 of the tournament. We are going to be doing the final match for round 1, where we're going to be going into round 2. And in round 2, we're going to see some serious guns coming in. And some really high kill deaths during round 2. This next round should be a good one. So taking a look at the scoreboard over on PG's side, you know, they definitely... both teams, well, Penn did a lot better than they did last time. Before, they didn't even break the double digits. Yeah. Doing a little better. We've got Aardvarkin, Cheekyology, Video Game Freak, Elusive Man, Drunken Clam coming in. Alamo is Chaos for the top spots. On the other side, we've got Jesus Crazy came out super strong in the beginning of that first round. Got a solid 3-piece there. And so it was pretty good. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get into this next round. We will be back here shortly. We're going to throw up our timer. It'll be about 15 minutes. We'll be jumping in here with Apex versus MDG coming back in just a second.
Competitive esports done right. Brought to you by
Take a look at that teamwork. That is what it is all about here at the Hardcore
They
League.
don't even see him, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Holy smokes. Can he do it?
And that right there is how you dogfight, ladies and gentlemen. What a play. Tonight's matchup, girls versus boys, right here at the Hardcore League, sponsored by Gamers Community.
Hardcore League, the only place for large-scale competitive battlefield.